Hey guys, welcome back. Thanks for being here. So I stayed up all night and watched the Selena Netflix series part 2, and I'm just going to preface this by saying there might be spoilers in this, so be forewarned. And also, I did not watch any of the spoilers for part 2, and I am really glad I didn't, because there was some definite moments that caught me by surprise. And I have my notes over here, so if you see me looking off, that's what I'm looking at. Is I want to make sure I get all my notes in here. As I said, I stayed up all night. I have to say there were some definite differences, absolutely, versus the movie. I wasn't really sure what to expect, and I'm very glad that, again, I didn't watch the spoilers, because that really made this a complete experience. I feel like I really didn't know what to expect. So, right off the bat, I just want to get this out of the way because I don't really want to spend a lot of time talking about her. I was surprised that Yolanda was in Suzette's wedding. I did not know that. There was a lot of things in this series that were surprising to me that I didn't know, because I've read Selena, Chris Prez's book about him and Selena. I've watched the movie a million times. I was a fan before everything happened. You know, I live in Texas. Last summer, I recently got to go to her resting place in Corpus Christi and see the statue, and people still flock to her gravesite, and it's a beautiful site. It's definitely worth going to if you're a fan, if you haven't already been. Just throwing that out there. So the main things I just kind of that stuck out to me, the Fabergé egg ring that was so talked about and kind of almost like a central piece of the movie, that wasn't even in here. I was actually really surprised to see that. So I was super surprised that that wasn't on here, because that seemed to be a really central part of the movie, or at the end. It was a big deal. A lot of people were talking about it. So that wasn't in here. And I will say that the whole thing with Yolanda really is a prime example of really needing to be very careful who you not only choose to trust, but who you let in your life. And Selena had such a big heart, and it's just crazy that that's pretty much why, you know, she's no longer here, because I feel like she cared too much. You know, she gave this person so many chances, and it's just like, it just shows you really have to be careful who you trust. And, you know, it's just like, oh my God, this person, ugh. I can't spend much time talking about her. She's moving on. But yeah, let's talk about, the couple of things that really shocked me. Now, I found out after the fact that there was a scene, there was a spoiler trailer, or there was a piece in a trailer with Beyonce, as a young Beyonce meeting Selena. Yeah, I believe it was in Houston at the Galleria. That was so surprising to me. I did not know about it, so it was one of those, oh my God, jaw-dropping moments, and that is just really cool. I mean, being from, you know, Texas myself, born and raised, it's like, that's just really cool. That was a really cool moment. I know another thing that kind of surprised me was actually seeing that she didn't thank Chris in her Grammy speech. It's their relationship, I feel like, has been very romanticized, and you only kind of hear about the good. And I think this series really delved into that everything wasn't so peaches and cream for them. And it was nice to see that deeper element. It was really interesting to see the more in-depth versions of her family's lives. Everyone's kind of collective as well as individual struggles to this rise of fame that she had. there were, I mean, her brother's marriage was definitely strained. Her marriage was strained, but it was interesting because you always kind of see her father in a very militant light. I think before this series, at least I did. And this series really shined a light on how caring and he really was, and more understanding than, you know, we were led to believe before, or again, I was led to believe before. So you really got to kind of get a glimpse into some issues in their marriage, Selena and Chris's marriage, and you also get to see kind of them working through that. I really enjoyed getting to know more things about her family and them collectively and individually. I was just really intrigued. I was very enthralled in this series. You think you know so many things, and then like something new comes out and you're like, oh my God, I didn't know this, I didn't know that. So it very much kept me hooked. As I said, I stayed up all night, and I wasn't honestly expecting to do that. So I was very much into this. The ending on situations like these, you know it's coming, and it's always emotional. And I have to say, I think all of the actors and actresses played this so well. I feel like they really did their research, and they just executed as beautifully as they could. And that's kind of how I describe this whole thing. It is, especially the ending, it is brutally beautiful. It is beautifully brutal, however you want to say it. But it really it really showed what an influence she had. And it's kind of amazing how much she did in her very short life. It's almost like she went for everything she wanted. You know, she really kind of kept reaching out for that gold bar, and she was, and she still is quite inspiring in my opinion, because she did so much in such a short time, you know, relatively speaking. And it's just, like I said, it's the lives she touched and how inspirational she was and still is to this day. So it just is, I really think they did a very good job with this series, and it shows just what a beautiful person she was and still is, you know, in spirit, and how inspirational she is to this day. And I have to say, bravo, Netflix. I really didn't know what to expect, and y'all did well. So that's it for me. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, feel free to like and subscribe. Until next time.